Welcome to Jacked and Dirty, a show about wrestling. Worldwide Wrestling RPG is the game that we're playing. Wrestling, the mobile home, and Johnny Cowboy, and Fresno the Great, and Chester the Ham King will get together to go on adventures. Wrestling.
Merch. Jacked and Dirty merch. In the store. Link in the description.
Hello, everybody.
Fanjoy.com/monkeytime.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome episode of Jacked and Dirty, a worldwide wrestling RPG podcast. I'm your host, your GM, your Gabe Master, Gabe. This is the third episode in our four-part kind of wrestling podcast because WrestleMania is either coming or here. So,
Or has gone.
Yeah, or has gone.
Depending
remember
on when
what-
this comes out.
Depending on when this comes out and depending on when WrestleMania happens. So
Happy Joker's Day, everyone.
yeah, happy Joker's Day.
Happy Joker's
I'm glad you guys had an awesome holiday break. Let's get around the table. The wacky wrestling fact for this week is merchandise. Go ahead, Ethan.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm back in the ring. Ethan playing the veteran wrestler, the mobile home. And today, our wrestling fact, really real wrestling fact, is what kind of merch does the mobile home sell? Or the people that represent him? And I gotta say, come on. Everyone wants to buy that mustard-stained wife beater, you know?
Yeah.
So the mustard
I
stains
do.
are like they're printed on, so you can clearly tell that they're fake, and you can even tell this isn't even a real wife beater. It's just like a T-shirt with the sleeves torn off.
Yeah.
So they sell that. They sell, they got the mobile home Funko Pop, all that stuff because he's the champion. Action figures, but they're really shitty. They look like they're kind of melted. I feel like that's like the line that's got to be, stuff you'd buy at the dollar store. That's there. Hot Wheels cars. You got the mobile home Hot Wheel. You can buy.
Is it shaped like the mobile home holding his mobile home?
Yes. So there's a little plastic mobile home in the front of his mobile home, and you can send that down the track.
Oh my
So
god.
like the
Yeah,
mobile home's
baby.
running along the track and carrying his mobile home, and that's the kind of merch the mobile home sells.
It's nice.
What are we called? Real World Wrestling? Is that what the thing's called?
Worldwide Wrestling.
Worldwide Wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm August. I'm playing John Cowboy. He's a hardcore. He's kind of a crazy guy who hails from the desert. And his merch table. Well, first of all, the sort of main merch table, like the non competitor specific merch table, that sort of has the general wrestling. What the fuck is whatever the fuck a company's called.
Worldwide
It
Wrestling.
has a worldwide wrestling. It has a worldwide wrestling monopoly, and Johnny Cowboy's turf in that is the prison space, and it's sort of him with a big shiny gold tooth, giving a big old thumbs up, looking at the camera, the proverbial camera up at the board, giving a big old wink. And you go to and when you pick the card that says go to jail, it says go to Johnny Cowboy's doghouse. He's also got some he's got his classic shirts that are that come in either black or maroon, and if they're black it's a maroon stamp brand in the very center and it says man, and on the back it says if lost please return to Johnny Cowboy, and then he's also got his he doesn't have Funkos, he's not big enough for Funkos, but he's got his DC crossover action figure
What?
of he's got his DC crossover action figure of Johnny Cowboy and Lobo. So
it's like a fusion.
It's a fusion, yeah. So it's like half. It's part of the Worldwide Wrestling X DC collaboration, and it's sort of like Johnny Cowboy. It's Johnny Cowboy with Lobo's hair and a big old funny motorcycle in green, and that's about it for Johnny Cowboy, I think.
Right. Harrison.
So, I play. I'm Harrison. I play fictional character Fresno the Great, a provocateur gimmick wrestler who is wizard themed. He handles his own merch. He doesn't like leaving it up to a team. Or he's the one in charge of his merchandise, is what I'm trying to say. And he there's a couple different things he sells. You can buy fushigi balls shaped like his crystal ball, and just like the original fushigi ball, it is absolutely a scam. You cannot contact juggle it. It has broken many a kid's foot. Many court cases have been settled with big payouts, but he keeps selling the dang things because they're so cool.
They are cool.
He also he's all about the high culture, so he doesn't really sell like t-shirts or anything. Well, there was one t-shirt he sold for a while, which he's all about like he gains his powers from the fairy realm, and he used to sell a t-shirt that just said fairy ! And it got taken down because it was a little problematic. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that now, because of that, he doesn't really sell t-shirts or anything like that. What he sells actually, and doesn't sell super well, but don't tell him that, is he sells cassette tape audiobooks of him reading like War and Peace, Atlas Shrugged, just these very pretentious books which he reads.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he doesn't do it in his real voice because he has to maintain kayfabe, So he does it in his wizard voice. So it's like it's shit like Chapter 1 Loomings. Call me Ishmael, some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse, and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little, and see the watery part of the world. And shit like that, and he sells
all of
cassette
Moby
tape
Dick in that
audiobooks
voice.
like that.
That's what I want. That's what I need.
Guys, if
But yeah, that's
this
what his merch
episode
is.
gets 50 likes, Harrison's doing the whole of Moby Dick like that.
That's right. 50 likes.
Absolutely not.
In 10 years from now, when we get 50 likes, it's going to be pretty crazy, man.
Share.
Trolls.
And trolls.
Don't get blocked.
Don't get blocked.
All right, Nick.
Oh, yeah, I'm up. Hey, I'm Nick. I'm playing the Ham King.
We're recording past Nick's bedtime right now. I'm sorry.
It's 8:45 instead of 8:20.
The Ham King is a ham CEO who's getting into wrestling to promote his ham business. The merch that he sells is, do you guys know those little tissue paper crowns that you get out of those like crackers?
Yeah.
I do know these.
Yeah, it's those, but they're ham colored. He just sells those.
Ham colored?
Pink, you mean? Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, ham pink.
Wait, are they made to? Are they have
color?
No, that's
Do they
the
have ham
Crayola
texture?
definition. It's ham pink, yeah.
Do they have ham texture on it?
No, they're just tissue paper crowns, so they're ham pink.
Big tissue paper crown.
So it's sort of a brownish pink tissue.
His ham company has ham pink patented, so no one else can use that color.
It's like Fanta Black.
It's like Fanta Black.
No one can paint with it.
You got Fanta Black, you got Pinkest Pink, and you got Ham Pink.
Ham pink.
He also sells shirts that just say real ham in big
Mouse
font.
watering already. Think about ham pink.
That's what I need.
Presumably, he also sells ham, right?
Yeah, but that's not merch. That's just what he sells.
That's just his livelihood.
Buy that merch.
Some
Buy
people
that.
use it as collectibles because they're fans. They just store ham on their shelf and have it rot in real time.
Oh my god!
All right, let's get into the show.
Let's get right into the wrestling.
So today, this episode, I wanted to kind of go to a more classic version of this game. I want you guys to each do a promo. Starting with the mobile home. You each know who you're wrestling. You guys have kind of built-in feuds now. So tell me.
Wait, I'm wrestling. Who am I wrestling?
Acid.
The
Acid.
person that
Acid.
literally
the name's
the
Acid. Okay.
yeah, the person that sent a body to your house.
The promo starts out with like that glitch effect, you know, and then and then it goes into the mobile home, like setting up his camera like Ed Eddie style in his mobile home, you know.
Is the body in the background?
The body's out of frame right now, but it's by his feet. Don't worry. So you see like his fingers up close, like touching the camera, and she's like, all right, let me get that. Okay, that's good. What's going on, wrestling fans? It's the mobile home, and today in Chicago, I'm gonna throw down with Acid, the most hackiest, techiest man out there, and let me tell you what he did to me. He sent me this dead body. I pick up the dead body and start shaking around, start wiggling around. Look at that, he cut off his dang head, and he's trying to scare me by sending this dead body to my mobile home, but I ain't scared. I'm gonna come down to the ring, I'm gonna drink my baking soda, I'm gonna gargle it up, I'm gonna throw down, I'm gonna throw barrels, I'm gonna eat dogs, I'm gonna smash, I'm gonna crash, I might do some antics. But let me tell you one thing for certain. The acid is gonna be reduced to acid. There will be no man left by the time the mobile home is done in the ring. There.
Roll plus look.
Plus luck. Oh god. Ooh, 11.
Yeah.
Whoa, hell yeah.
Yeah, everybody
Wow,
is
wow,
fucking
wait,
into
what?
it.
Yes!
They're totally not phased that you have a literal body in your home. Nobody cares. They're just really into this. They're so fucking pumped.
Yeah!
Fresno, give me a promo.
You see nothing but a crystal ball sitting on this big purple table with fog surrounding it. And suddenly, these two gray, wrinkled hands clutch onto it and start rubbing it around. And you zoom out and you see Fresno the Great there, rubbing his crystal ball, going, ooh, ooh. And then he narrows his eyes and he says, "Can you hear it? Can you hear the fluttering of wings? The chattering of tiny lips? I can. It is the sound of the fairy realm."
That was terrifying.
he says, "The fairies have instructed me to carry out their devious magics in new ways. No longer am I here to share my magic as a gift for humanity. I am here to conquer and destroy. So yes, I destroyed America's golden boy the same way you might destroy a hamburger or a hot dog. I destroyed America's golden boy, and now I'm coming for America's golden man."
Yes,
And
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
He points at the camera and says, "I'm coming for you, mobile home. I'm coming for that belt. If that means I have to destroy Rasila to get to you, so be it. I will kill him like I've killed all the mortals before me. Not literal kill. Police watching this. Not literal kill. I'm
Police
gonna kill him in the ring. This isn't a threat."
Cut to the police watching the TV
Woo!
and standing up and grabbing their holsters, and then relaxing themselves.
After he says that, after he makes that stipulation, he disappears into the fog and vanishes away.
Roll plus look for me.
Okay. Let me check my look stat. And as he disappears into the fog, you can hear someone saying softly, "How was that? Was that good? Was that good? Okay, good job." That's a 10.
Oh, cool.
Great. Yeah, the people are booing now. People are booing you, and they kind of feel like this is now part of a story. They've kind of lost. They kind of stopped being upset that you got rid of Homunculad, and now they're just really into this. They're into seeing Resula destroy you or you destroy him. It is great.
Oh, yeah.
Chester, do a
So
promo
happy,
for me.
I'm crying.
Alright, yeah, so, there, you sort of, just sort of standing in a ham pink painted room, just sort of awkwardly
Like the got
standing
milk
around.
stuff. It's like the got milk thing.
Yeah, just sort of looking around, going, "Now, are we Rolling. Hi, I'm Chester the Ham King, and I love wrestling. I'm ready to fight in the ring, and I'm ready to wrestle because I love wrestling and the art of the wrestling, and I'm ready to take down that the fish character. Gonna fight him, gonna wrestle him because I love wrestling. But you know what I love more than wrestling? Real ham. And if you want some real ham with no added chemicals, no toxic waste, go to my company, Chester the Ham King's Real Ham, and buy some real ham. It's real and it's good.
Is it a physical or digital store?
Both.
Roll
We
plus
sell
look for me.
crypto ham.
We sell ham FTs.
We sell cyber ham.
FTs.
That's
Secure a token on the ham chain.
Yeah, it's 2d6 plus look.
Alright, what's my luck?
The ham chain.
Alright,
Ham
that's
chan.
gonna be an 8.
8. Yeah, people are into it. People are ready for you to fight that fish character. And
Do people buy ham?
You get a vibrating on your phone. You go into your phone, you go into your ham app, and your stock went up by 25%.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, can I just
Whoa.
add that during that whole thing there was like really bad, very obvious subliminal messaging, just with like buy real ham popping up on the screen.
All of a
constantly.
sudden this cuts out to it's you with like spinny eyes with like buy real ham.
It's like that fucking it's like the Phlegm episode of Courage. The more ham you want, the more times you see my face, the more ham you want.
That's great. Johnny Cowboy, make me a promo.
All right, so first as a frame of reference, have you remember that PlayStation commercial with Lou Reed's Perfect Day? Remember that where it kept
What?
where it was the
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like that one PlayStation commercial. Lou Reed's
You're a
Perfect Day.
cowboy. Do
It
something
was
cowboy.
no, shut up. It was the two guys battling, and they kept switching genres. Like they were knights, and then they were in cars racing.
I think I remember now.
It was the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, dude, sure. Yeah, I know
Okay,
that.
so
I think
so
I
it
remember.
So it starts off with it. Just keep that in your mind. So it starts off. It's shut up, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm keeping that thing that I know in my mind. Yeah.
Currently Googling Lou Reed's Perfect Day. PlayStation.
We need room for
Okay,
matches, people.
it starts
Come
off.
on.
It starts off in 3x4. There's two black bars beside the screen. It's got sepia, and you see it zooming out from an image, and that image is revealed to be a wanted poster on a board. And the wanted poster is a disgusting caricature of that orcish woman. So it zooms out, and then it sort of gets to it sort of stops with a pleasant sort of middle framing of the wanted board, and then bam bam, 2 bullet holes in her eye sockets, and the camera pans around to show Johnny Cowboy holstering his gun. And he looks he looks at the camera and he goes, "What's her name?" He looks off to the side, he goes, "What's her name?"
A stagehand goes, Yezere.
He goes, "Okay." And the music starts back up again. It goes, you hear an eagle up above or a hawk go, "Ah!" And he goes, "Yezere, if you step into the ring with me, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna do this." And the camera sort of pans like a swish pan, and you suddenly see that Johnny Cowboy is dressed as like a cowboy, sort of a cowboy cavalry in medieval times, and he suddenly has a sword. It's such a cool, effortless cut, and he locks swords with sort of a version of her in knight armor. He goes, "I'm gonna do this, and then this," and he swings around, and he's a soldier in like a Call of Duty type thing, and he aims his gun, and he blasts another version of her, and he goes, "And then I'm gonna do this," and the camera sort of goes back over his head, and then it's upside down. You see he's at the wheel of like a Ford Focus going really fast down the he's trying to Ford Focus. And then it sort of it swings around. You see there's sort of a helpless version of Yezere standing in the middle of the road, and he smashes into her. And then there's a side shot, and he goes, "Ah!" and he steps out of his badass neon green Ford Focus, leans against it, lights a comically large cigarette, and like 6 or 7 tumbleweeds all come across at once. And someone accidentally pressed the button too many times, so you hear like going over each other. The eagle noises.
It's ended live.
Yeah, it's literally live
It's
in the
live.
soundboard. And he goes, "So you heard me, Desiree. If you step into the ring with me, then I'm gonna..." And then like 6 horses just run across the screen. He goes, "Oh God, who let him go? Who let him go too early?" That one runs to the camera, it knocks over, and then Johnny looks up at the camera and goes, "God damn it, this was a rental. Oh no, my Super 8." And it cuts off.
Oh my god.
Roll plus look for me. Yeah, I hope this bombs. I really do.
It does. It's a fucking 7. I rolled a 4. I rolled a 5, and then I have +2, so it's a 7.
7? Okay, then yeah, it's not a failure. People are kind of meh about it.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. People
Can
are like people are very, very excited. They see it's a visual spectacle and it is insane, but they don't know who you are, so they are somewhat confused.
Can we get like a little zoom into a family watching this on TV?
I don't know,
Daddy,
boy.
who's that man? Daddy,
Who is that man?
It is.
Daddy, what's happening now? Daddy, I don't.
Hey,
just as scared as you, boy.
homie, hey, my husband. Who is that man on the TV?
So
Daddy, what's he doing to that poor green
Don't
woman?
pay that green woman.
Turn
no
your
mind.
eyes around, boy.
so you after this big long promo shoot, you guys are all in this kind of personal dressing room, all 4 of you. This is an important like tournament. You guys have a room all to yourself. What do you guys do as you sit around getting ready for a match? Getting ready, kind of like a pre-show ritual. What are you guys doing?
Well, I have a platter of dogs stacked up like it's fucking the Kobayashi versus the grizzly bear, you know? Like, this is a hot dog eating contest, but they're all for me. So I'm slamming down dogs, right? I got my own bottle of mustard, squirting them. I'm like, "Oh, you boys want some dogs? Anyone want a dog? Dog? Anyone want a dog?
I'm
dog?
on a diet.
But you're a ham man. Come on, you gotta like dogs."
I don't eat the ham, I make the ham.
I've arranged a chair, like a big plush chair, to face the wall. If you're from the wall, I'm going, "You step into the ring with me, I'm gonna do this." And then I'm just kind of like moving my hands around, like into like a punching position.
Fresno says, "Oh, thank you, mobile home. I would love a dog, but I'm a little busy with my own pre-game ritual." And he sits down crisscross. He lays out a mat, sits down crisscross, takes out a radio player, puts the cassette tape in it, and starts playing his own audiobook recording of David Foster Wallace, Consider the Lobster and Other Essays. And as that plays, he just sits there with his eyes closed.
Man,
sort of
will you
meditating.
turn that shit off? Come on. That's annoying. I'm trying to eat some dogs
I'm gonna-
over here. Get some headphones
I'm
or
gonna
something.
do this. I'm gonna do this.
You hear the noise of a man going, "Every spring, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences presents awards for outstanding achievement in all aspects of mainstream cinema."
God. Oh my god.
I'm gonna do.
Accompanied by
This.
the sounds of a brook, a nice pleasant brook, and wildlife noises.
Wait, Fresno.
I don't think Fresno is going to answer you automatically. He's in like his meditative state.
Fresno, is that about the lobster? I love that.
Don't worry,
movie.
Cowboy. I can get his attention. I walk over and I start pouring mustard on his radio. I'm squirting it in the speakers.
Gabe, what happens when he puts mustard into the speakers?
So okay, he puts mustard. Mobile home puts mustard in the speakers, and what does happen?
Like
I
smoke
like the-
start coming out?
It starts. No, I like to think that Fresno wrapped the player in like saran wrap, saying that it's a force field.
Sure, I could have done that, I guess. Yeah. I open my left eye and out of the corner of my mouth say, I'm a million steps ahead of you, mobile home.
Huh? And then a giant rabbit trap puts me in a box.
A giant hat just appears and you're just sucked in.
Yeah. Whoa!
Chester, are you doing?
Get me out of here!
Chester, do you have
How
a
much of
pregame-
this is real and how much of it isn't? I don't know.
It's bleeding
Nobody
into
knows.
reality.
That's the.
Chester, do you have a pregame ritual?
I'm gonna walk up to Johnny Cowboy and just shove my tiny little BlackBerry phone in his face, or not a BlackBerry, but just like a very small old phone that's playing Alan Sherman's Camp Granada song from 1963.
Hello, mama.
Shove that
Hello,
in his
Papa.
face
Hello,
and say,
Father.
have you seen this? This is hilarious. You've got to see this.
Oh my God,
it's
I've
some
never
of the best out there.
I've never seen this before in my life. I go, you know what you would like if you like this? And I pull out from under the chair a giant box of vinyl, and it's just it's Dudley Moore Beyond the Fringe, and it's just like that and a bunch of old assorted 60s and 70s comedy albums. There's like Steve Martin comedy album. And I'm like, you know what? Let's listen to some of this. I put this on my gramophone, and we listen to some Dudley Moore Beyond the Fringe making fun of the Prime Minister.
So it's this awful cacophony of Fresno reading and political humor. Great. You guys hear a knock at the door. Who opens it?
I'll open it.
The mobile home. Okay.
Yeah, what do you want?
You see Marigal. She is holding this bag that says happy birthday, but instead of birthday, it's crossed out and says happy fight night. And she says, is Johnny in?
No.
Oh yeah, he's listening to comedy albums over there. Yes, you are. Get over here.
I walk
So
over.
Johnny-
I go. Have you ever heard of Beyond the Fringe, Marigold?
Yes, we used to listen to Beyond the Fringe all the time.
Of course we did.
She hands
Happy
you this.
birthday.
She hands you this bag. You open it, and what is in it?
Oh my God! It's a cake that says happy birthday. Thank you so much.
All right, that's your weapon for your hardcore match.
I've always wanted a birthday cake.
I thought it was going to be a weapon, but nope, that's what you're taking to the hardcore match.
I bite into it. I bite into it like I do a full head. Like my hands are at the bottom. I just smash it in my face. Bite into it, and I pull out a World War I German bouncing Betty.
I don't know what that was. Is that a bomb?
It's a mine that when someone steps in front of it, it pops up and explodes in their face with shrapnel.
Awesome. And she winks at you and says, "That's a little treat for you later."
I love cake.
Ronnie pulled some strings. This ain't no normal
trick
match.
a wrestler into stepping on an exposed
On a
line
landmine? Are
in the ring?
you're gonna treat an Olympic style wrestler to step on a landmine? That's what you're gonna do.
A landmine that they gave you, so they know that you have it.
No, your uncle, his uncle gave it to him.
Oh,
This is
okay.
a treat from Ronnie, and he also pulled some strings. This is gonna be a hardcore match, baby. She winks and she closes the
I
door.
love cake so much.
Moments later, another knock is at the door.
That's in the fucking cake.
A landmine.
Tall
Another
cake.
knock is at the door, and you hear a voice of an attendant. They say, Fresno Chimply needs you in his office.
Oh. I do a big exasperated sigh and stand up.
in trouble.
Shut up, mobile home. You know that's a sensitive topic for me. I hate getting in trouble.
Looks like
I turn the radio
someone's
Reminds
in
me
off.
trouble.
paddling my butt like I'm spanking it.
I turn the radio player off and put it in my prison pocket, and,
Yeah.
I go out with the attendant.
The attendant takes you to Chimply's office, and he is sitting there. His head is in his hands, and he says, "I
Hey, professor, how's it going?
don't want to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. This is Resula. I made a promise to him after the homunculad incident. I made a promise.
I'm picking my nose.
He goes into his desk drawer and he pulls out this little box. It is this darkly stained box, and as soon as it hits the desk, it starts to leak blood. He opens the box and there is a scroll, and there is a little blade. You take out the scroll and blade?
I think I first say, listen, Professor, what is this?
This is a contract. A very, very special contract, Fresno.
Oh, fine. I read the contract. What does it say?
It's in a language you can't read, but he quickly translates. It quickly translates to saying that this is a Dracula's Castle match.
Ooh. Remind me what that means, Professor Chimpley.
You have to fight at Dracula's Castle, and we are not responsible for what happens. The company has no stake in this match. If he does something to you, we do not have to pay for it.
Sounds fine to me. Okay, and as I hear that, so I gained, we didn't talk about this in the episode, but after my last fight with Homunculad, I gained an advance because I did something that got everyone talking about me. And one thing you can do when you get an advance, this isn't like an additional, or this is an additional thing you do when you use it, which is that you can heal an injury. So as soon as I hear that I'm going to be fighting Resula, I tense up and I go, and I purge my body. I shit out all my toxins onto the floor, and I am immediately healed of 1 injury point.
All right, so you're clean. You're clear.
I say, yes, Chimpley, I'm in. I sign. Do I sign with my blood or what?
Yeah, you have to cut your hand.
Does it have to be my hand?
You have to put blood on the page.
What's your penis?
What's something funny I could do? Okay, I do it. Yeah, I can't think of anything funny, so yeah, I cut my hand and put my signature down.
Yeah, you cut your hand, drops your signature. Awesome, you're now in a Dracula's Castle match.
As you're walking out, you go, ow, my hemorrhoids.
Yeah, as I'm walking out, I go, ow, my hemorrhoids, I shouldn't have shit myself. What was I thinking?
So, that's the pre-match. The show is beginning. The show is fucking crazy, man. The crowd is fucking wild. It is electric. Chicago.
I just heard the crowd in the background.
Yeah. That's it.
I heard the crowd. I heard the crowd speaking Spanish in the background.
Yeah.
Harrison, you can edit around that by adding like audience ambience.
Let me go ahead and close my door.
No, if I edit around it, the joke isn't funny.
Yeah, please keep that in.
Yeah, that was funny.
Right, great. The crowd is electric. It's Chicago, Illinois. This is a famous it's a famous town that loves wrestling. And the show begins with the arena going dark, and you see this giant thing in the sky. This is essentially a remake of the Sin Bin. This giant monstrous cage filled with violence is lowered into the ground and lowered over top of the ring. Johnny Cowboy, this is a very special event. Describe a very special entrance for me.
So as that thing gets lowered in, it's actually being lowered in by a helicopter, like a cargo helicopter, a Chinook type thing. Actually, two Chinooks are lowering it in, and atop the cage, holding onto the chain of both Chinooks, is Johnny Cowboy, and he's debuting his brand new outfit, which is sort of like a Marty Stewart Elvis-esque cowboy costume. He's gotten a lot more flamboyant. It's the same thing except for he's got a top too, sort of a tasseled shirt with just sequins fucking everywhere, and it's green with like blue and purple sequins everywhere, and he rides in, and he's got a big funny cigar that's 2 feet long in his mouth, and he's going, yeah, as he drops down to the ring, and when the thing gets lowered, he He walks to the edge of the cage, sort of looks down over the audience, and goes, "If you step into the ring with me, I'm gonna do this." And then he flips off the back of it and lands square on his horse.
Awesome. That's great.
And he rides around the ring on his, around the outside of the ring. His horse is, he's sort of saddled backwards, going like, woo, 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 woo. The horse just books it around the ring.
Awesome. So a fog begins to fill the arena. This kind of triumphant, very like grand entrance, like video game end boss type entrance comes. There are 20.
Sorry, I'm just doing One Winged Angel. Keep going.
Okay. So people begin to come from the entrance ramp. All of them are 7 feet tall. All of them are ripped, and all of them are green. They are all wearing this typical kind of athletic fighter's gear, and they're on their shoulders is a replica of the Real World Fighting Championship. All 10 of them, not all 20 of them, line up the ring. 10 on each side. Coming out with her complete fight team is Yezere Balare. Fireworks are exploding. Everything is going crazy. The crowd is electric. She walks into the sin bin, and the light shines upon her and glistens on the championship belts, bathing her in this golden glow. And she just stares at you. She uses her ability called, Stare Down. And she automatically has control of the match. She automatically starts. Ding, ding, ding. Let's go. She runs at you, and then she instantly kicks you off your horse. She grabs your head and begins scraping it across the barbed wire.
I go, Yezere, calm down, calm yourself, calm down, come on, just take it easy. Calm down.
Okay, she grabs you and puts you into the landmine. There is a laser grid, and as soon as you go into the laser grid, there's landmines that go off.
Oh, okay, so separate landmines, okay.
Separate landmines, so you are blown into the center of the ring.
Now, you know what they say. You should take a guy out before you blow him. And then the crowd grew just fucking laughter. Just fucking uproarious.
Roll look.
I feel like I would groan if I were there. I would not appreciate that.
Roll look.
Okay, I have good luck. So it's,
Ethan, why are you laughing like this right now?
I'm doing the crowd.
Okay.
It's an 8.
What's a character I
Okay.
can laugh as? If Peter Lorre is there, who can I laugh at?
Yeah,
I'm a green witch. Peter Lorre and a green witch are in the audience.
So a couple people are laughing.
It's just a bunch of freaks in this
Such
audience.
gross characters.
Sitting in the front row.
That joke gets a very mixed reaction.
okay. Now I go. Now I go. Hey, come here. And then
She doesn't.
I
She
go.
does.
I go. Hey, want to see? I go. Want to see a magic trick? And I take my right hand, raise it high above me, and as I'm doing that and sort of doing a little like movement with my right hand to keep her attention, I drop my landmine behind me with my left hand. I go, look at this hand.
Okay.
I got cards in my hand. You just
You
gotta come a
don't-
little.
Do you?
You come closer to see. I promise you.
She's not wearing glasses. Her eyes are 20/20, but
There's
she
some-
goes forward anyway.
I grab her by the neck and slam her into my mind. I
Roll-
try and suplex her into my mind.
Roll real.
I think I have -1 to real. I do. Roll real, thanks. I actually rolled a 6, so that's pretty cool, I think.
No.
It is a dud. It does not go off.
Ah,
And as you place her into the ground, she does puts her hands on the mat, spins her whole body, and brings you to the ground with a leg sweep.
Yeah, you see a prank store tag on the landmine.
Yeah, there's a big prank store. It says "From Johnny's Prank Store." This is your father's brand of landmine. She goes to the barbed wire cage that has weapons hooked over it and picks up a baseball bat and slams it into your back.
I go, oh, buy me a drink first.
She does it again.
I go, oh, buy me a dinner as well first.
She turns you over so you're on your back. She puts the bat in your mouth, and then she hammer fists it into your throat.
I go, oh, buy me a teeth first. Yeah.
Come on. She kind of steps backwards, and she does kind of like the Bruce Lee hand gesture. He's like, come on, Johnny. Come on. You're supposed to be better than this. What was your uncle teaching you? Come on, man.
All right. I go, all right. Now I know what you're thinking, that I can't do no fighting, no nothing. And then I, from my back pocket, as I'm bullshitting, I take out my my vial of coyote's blood, and I'm unscrewing it, and then I go, I can't fight for nothing. Well, you gotta rely on your smarts in the desert. And I pour the coyote's blood on her, and vultures descend from the rafters and start kicking it.
Okay. As soon as you pour the blood on her,
I go, vulture technique. Ah!
Vultures go through the barbed wire. They dive bomb through the barbed wire and begin to rip at her hair, at her face. She is trying her best to knock them away and slam them, but there are just too many. They are overwhelming her. She is slowly but surely going down to her knees. And there's a vulture on her head, and she headbutts Matt, and you kind of can see like tons of scratches all over her. She is on her knees. She is bleeding.
You know what they say about you know what they say about a horse, that if it had eyes in the front of its head, it would be a predator, and that would be pretty scary. Well, I've got eyes in the front of my head, and I'm a predator, and so I'm pretty scary. And then I get down on all fours, and I do the thing I did in the first episode, where I do the horse run, and I go, ooh, 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 and pounce on her.
What the fuck?
Okay, I kind of think that you pounce on her, and not only does her head, like the back of her head, scrape the back of the barbed wire, but she lands perfectly within a grid of the lasers, and her upper half is just enveloped in this explosion.
Oh.
She's tossed in the middle of the ring. She is smoking, and she is just limp. You pin her.
All right.
Like, do you, or do you keep going?
Yeah.
No,
Wait. Do you have a finisher?
I'm not gonna
on
pin
you?
her yet. Yeah, I'm not gonna pin her yet. I've got a new finisher to debut. So I go, people of the audience of Real Wrestling Federation United. And I try and get the crowd going. I'm like, come on, guys, I got something new.
Plus, look.
That'll be what the fuck is my rolls? That's a 6. No one's into it.
Yeah, people just are sitting. They're yawning.
I'm like, all right. I do not care. And I go, boys. I go, bring out the alley. And I pull out a big funny remote. I press a button, and suddenly the arena sort of like falls away, like, you know, those fake house bits. The arena sort of falls away to reveal an early 1930s bowling alley, and my stagehands come on, and they dress me. let me just make sure I'm doing this right. They bring out a sort of outfit for me. They bring out a big sort of like a ranger's hat. They bring out like a very stylish 3-piece suit. They bring out a bunch of bowling pins and a bunch of bowling balls. And I sort of stand at the side of at one side of the bowling alley, and she's the other one. I go, drainage! And then I pelt her with bowling balls. I go, I drink your milkshake.
No, Daniel Day-Lewis uses the pin, not the bowling ball, right? Doesn't he use the pin?
I throw both.
Okay.
First he throws the balls.
You might be right the first time. I don't remember, but yeah.
No, he throws the balls and then he uses the pin. So I throw some balls at her and I go, I drink it up. I get really close to her with a bowling pin, and I rear it up, and I go. I rear it up, and
I'm finished.
and I go. I get really near to her. Is she like conscious at all? Like what's her
No.
state?
She just
She's
got
not
hit
conscious
with
at all.
landmines.
Oh, of course. You know the classic landmine technique. I get really close. I'm holding a bowling pin in one hand, and I go. They should have put you in a glass jar on the mantelpiece. And then I rear up with the bowling pin, knock her teeth out, and then I turn to the audience and I go, I'm finished! And then a giant oil
And
explosion
music
effect.
plays. Do.
A giant oil explosion happens, effect happens, and I'm gone. The arena is just full of oil. I'm gone.
All right. Good job. You won. The crowd is shocked. And then they all stand up and
That was a
scream.
There Will Be Blood reference, by the way, if anyone listening didn't catch that.
Yeah, a big percentage of the crowd did not get the reference, so they think they think that you're just a great like theater man. They just think you're so fucking clever.
I'm really into bowling.
The big green witch in the audience stands up and goes, I love theater!
Pure Glory goes, that was pretty good. Oh, yeah, that was good.
So, Chester, describe your big tournament entrance.
Alright, I'm just gonna sort of slowly walk out.
I'll
as
start
the
playing
music
ham
plays.
music here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna sort of every few seconds as I'm walking, I'm just gonna stop, flex my muscles in a different pose, and yell wrestling, and then keep walking and flex my muscles and yell wrestling, and keep doing that until I get to the ring. That's my entrance.
You're very popular with like the young entrepreneur rise and grind types. So like, so you're in the ring, and the lights go blue. Water seeps from the entrance ramp, and people on hooks begin to come from the sky. They're all playing guitars. It's very, very weird. And the entire fish faction walks out.
That's not fair.
What? They're not. When you come with a faction, you come together. They're not all gonna fight you, but they're all coming together. Yeah, they're all come together. It's very simple. They just walk down, and people are not into this. This is very uncomfortable for them. Man of War walks into the ring. He reaches into his pocket and takes out a knife. Just a really big, gnarly knife. The bell does not ring. He just lunges at you. What do you do?
Jump to the side, or jump over him, actually, because that's funnier.
Okay, you jump over. Do you do like a split midair?
Yeah, definitely.
So he would jump over him, and he falls out of the ropes. He climbs back in. He kind of gives this like attempts to run and stab you again.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of ham from my pocket and block the knife with it. Like I'm gonna stretch it out in front of the knife so that it goes through the ham instead of me.
Wait, it's like stretchy like flubber?
Yeah.
Okay, so you stretch out this ham, and he stabs into it, and he rips down the ham, and you now have two pieces of ham in your hand, and he tries to he flips the knife and tries to gut you.
I'm gonna slap him in the face with my ham to try to
Roll.
distract him.
Roll work.
Alright, that is going to be I roll a 3 on that one.
You rolled a 3?
Yeah.
What is your plus work?
-1.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
So
god.
you
We can commentate, right?
yeah, you can commentate.
Holy hell.
So as
I'm
you
Johnny Fox, commentator.
Yeah, I'm cackling Ethel Green Teeth,
Commentator.
contributing commentator.
Oh, brother,
looks
look
like
at
he
this.
has made a big mistake.
And I am Peter Lloyd too, commentator.
So
Oh, brother.
as you slap him with this ham, the ham melts and boils because of the poison that is pretty much coating his entire body, and you pretty much slap him
I
with
could
your
use
actual
that
hand.
for my witch's brew.
I love
And-
boiling ham.
and your-
Smells fishy.
Your hand burns as you slap him, and you kind of like instinctively have to pull it away and like fan it. and,
Wow,
like,
that's
do it.
crazy.
I think this commentary does not seem to be contributing very much to the show.
All right, what do you do? Because
I'm gonna scream and recoil backwards, just sort of jump like a few feet back.
okay, roll plus work for me.
Alright, that's 4.
He stabs you in the leg, and he begins to drag the knife down, going from your thigh down to your knee.
Can I bite his face? real
Yeah,
quick?
roll plus work.
Alright, that is a 9.
Fucking fantastic, Jesus Christ. As he is stabbing you and dragging the knife into your flesh, you pop up and you bite into his head, and it is burning your mouth. And you bite into it and it pops like a water balloon. And this gross, like saline water begins to come into your mouth, and his head kind of deflates into more of like it's like if someone wore a popped balloon on their head.
Alright, I'm gonna sort of like look to the sky and gurgle the liquids from his head in my mouth and then spit it
Okay.
into the audience.
Oh, God.
Roll plus look for
Oh.
me.
Alright. That's gonna be a 12.
Yes, the audience loves it. Someone opens their mouth and
The-
catches it.
The Green Witch goes, it's burning my eyes! But I love it!
The point of
this
the Green
is
Witch
wild.
It's
smiling.
like a nice rainy day.
You can keep. I'm gonna let you keep going. What do you do next?
Yeah, I'm gonna just take some ham, and because of all of the toxic waste in the ham, it's incredibly stretchy. So I'm just gonna stretch it out into like sort of a whip shape and just sort of hit him with it a few times.
Roll plus work.
This is crazy.
That's a 9.
A
Truly
9.
insane.
So as you whip it at him, it literally like ties around his neck. You pull it, and it literally slams him into the ground.
Alright, I'm gonna step on him, on his head, and just sort of spit on him. And say, real ham!
As you do this, like, oh, mate, wasn't how it's supposed to go. This is so gross. I didn't know you did this. Why are you doing this? Why aren't you just hitting me?
I need to promote my ham business.
Oh man. Oh man. So he grabs at your ankle and he attempts to take you down, but you kind of realize that without the poison he is very, very weak. He's not moving you an inch. What do you do?
I'm gonna pick him up, and just sort of throw him as far as I can, like into the wall. I'll
Into the
aim for
wall?
the wall, but
You're gonna
depends on how
throw
I
him
roll.
throw him into the arena wall.
Yeah,
Okay, roll work.
that's a 4.
Why are we all rolling so terribly?
Okay, so you pick him up and you instantly drop him. He tumbles on top of you and he is just writhing. He is really slippery and gross. You're just writhing. He's just writhing on top of you.
I'm gonna bite him again. This time on like the shoulder.
So you roll plus work.
That's a 3.
You
Oh
don't
my
bite him, I
God.
guess. As soon as you bite him, he burns your tongue. Oh my god. Oh, and guess what? You're injured. You have poison in your system. Put an injury on.
Alright.
Hey,
So
it's
you're-
me, the commentator, the Velvet Underground, and Nico. I was a wrestler in my time. Now, this is some crazy stuff. You see, he tried to bite him, but he got poisoned instead. Now, I would call that a wazoo.
So I'll say as you're wrestling, you're also
irritating my green ears!
I put a bit of poison in your sandwich.
you're also super, super sleepy. I'll say that.
I'm gonna sort of drowsily sort of try to toss him to the side and then try to kick him.
Okay, roll plus work for me.
That's a 5.
Ah!
Oh my
Yeah.
Can you roll a
god.
0 for me?
Can you
Nick,
do
can
you
you
want
roll a 0?
can you just
You
oh
are
my
rolling
God.
2d6, right, Nick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you rolling 2?
I am.
Are you just rolling that
Oh.
awfully?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my
To be
god.
fair, I have rolled pretty awfully this time.
No, you literally
This is not good for the ham business.
okay. You have another injury. You have poison all over your body. You are boiling. You are turning into a skeleton. You're turning into a big cartoon skeleton.
All right, I'm gonna sort of just take some ham and just mold it in my hands into the shape of a knife and just stab him like several times.
Okay.
That one's
Let me
probably
roll.
real, right?
That's real. Roll real.
Real.
Yeah.
All right, that's going
Real
to
ham.
be a
4.
7.
Wait, yeah, a 7.
7. Oh my god. Yes.
Holy. So you've been rolling awfully this entire match. You feel a vibrating from your phone, and you feel like a bunch of startup companies investing in you, and you all of a sudden get super pumped, and you're actually able to hit him this time. You start stabbing him over and over and over with this gross ham, and you hear him meekly whine and cry until he is silent.
Moan
He is
and groan.
bleeding. Yeah, with one last moan and groan, he stops breathing. He is dead.
I'm gonna look over his corpse and then look at my hands and all of the toxic blood on them, and I'm just gonna look into the air and scream in agony.
You scream, and the crowd is into it. They love blood sport. It's great. The rest of the fish enter the ring, and they look down. Say, one of them, Dolphin, says, "Well, I guess we don't have a boss anymore, huh?" Crab goes, "Oh yeah." They all look at you. Anglerfish puts out a hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Congratulations, you now have 3 bodyguards. Good job, and you won the match.
I'm gonna
Congrats.
look into the camera and yell,
Holy shit.
"That puts the shamalama in ding dong."
Yeah, so this little skeleton surrounded by 3 fishmen says that. It's great. Okay, mobile home. Describe your entrance to me.
Yes.
Describe your big championship tournament entrance for me.
Alright, so the stadium goes black and fog starts leaking in, and then there's a spotlight in the middle of the ring. And out walks a majestic Alaskan elk. Right?
Okay.
The elk is standing there in the fog in the spotlight. And then you see another spotlight in the entrance of the arena. And it's the mobile home. He walks in. I go up to the elk and I say, "Whoa, girl. Whoa. I start putting my hand on the elk's in between the elk's eyes. And it's a really beautiful moment between human and creature of the earth. And then I put it in a headlock and I knock it out.
Oh yeah.
I do an anaconda grip. I wrap my whole body around the neck of this elk, and I spin it around, and I knock it out, and slam my hands on the ring, and I say, "Somebody get this dang deer out of here! The mobile home has arrived!" And then he pulls out the finisher. Of course, you know this. It's a barrel of grapes. He pulls out the barrel of grapes, and he just starts taking handfuls of them, and just starts chowing down on grapes. They're the juiciest, the messiest grapes you've ever seen. And the audience just watches the mobile home eat this entire barrel, this half the size of his body, full of grapes. And it's really awkward. It takes him a really long time to eat all these grapes. And then once he's finished, he kicks over the barrel and he puts his hands up in the air and says, "Done! I'm done!
Is that it?
And that's his entrance.
That's your entrance. That was great. So the arena begins to just flicker with all sorts of crazy colors. The lights are going crazy. It's going dark. It's going light. It's going dark. It's going crazy. And poles begin to go from the ceiling and into the entrance ramp. And like these burlesque dancers that are wearing like this black mirror mask begin dancing down the poles. And you see this individual, this woman in a trench coat with a large metal arm riding on top of a drone with this very like gothic Daft Punk helmet. and she flies from the top of the arena into the ring. It is just a laser light show, and it is insane. The lights all go dark, and then they all go light. Begin the match. You're in control, champ.
All right. So my first move is, of course, I'm gonna go for the belly slam. So what I do is I run towards Acid, and I stick out my belly like King K. Rool's dash attack in Super Smash Brothers, and I just charge at her with my belly going full force.
Roll plus work for me.
Okay. Let's see what is plus work. Ooh, +2. Okay. That is 9.
9. So you go back, you bounce against the rope, your belly extends, and you bash into her. She's bashed into the ropes, and she falls forward.
Well, it seems that she has been bashed into the ropes and fallen forward.
She's crazy.
All right. And then, while she's down, I pick her up by her legs, and I say, I've seen this one in Super Mario 64. And I start spinning her around really fast by the legs. And I say, so long, gay Acid. And I toss her out of the ring.
Roll
Gay Acid.
Roll work.
Oh, fuck, that's a 4.
Why are we all so terrible at rolling?
So as you spin her around, you get super, super dizzy, and you fall backwards. She gets out of your grip and stands over you, and she goes onto her metal arm and begins to type something in. 4 drones descend from the sky, hook onto your arms and legs, and bring you up, 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 higher and higher and higher, and then drop you. You slam into
It's a good thing I'm used to drops, but, I'm a dropper. What can I say?
No, but here's the thing. As you fall into the sky, she gets in position, so you land directly on her knees.
Oh,
You feel
no.
something crack in your spine.
Oh,
Oh no.
that was probably the grapevines that I ate.
The grapevines. She then types on her arm again, and the drones just crash into you one by one. They just slam into you.
So I roll over as the drones come crashing down, and instead of crashing into me, they bounce off my big gelatinous belly, so they repel off me.
I want you to roll plus body with that.
That's a 12.
That's a 12.
That's a 12.
Okay, so
12.
as the drones begin to crash from the sky, you just envelop them. Your stomach opens, your stomach eats them up, then crushes them, and then just spits out the pieces.
No, that's oh god, so fetishy. I hate that.
That's the
Harrison,
mobile
you're kind
home,
of
baby.
a wacky sexual-minded guy, Harrison.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
if he's
sorry,
just like
my mind's
bubblegum or
just in the
flubber?
gutter.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do you do, man? You're on a roll.
All right, so now that those drones are out of the way, I go for my spin move. And what I do is I roll back over onto my belly, and I start running around in circles and circles, and I start spinning into a vortex of fists and legs, So the belly is spinning, but the mobile home has his arms and legs out like a ninja star, and he starts spinning towards Acid.
All right, roll plus work for me.
All right, that is, let's see, 6, 3, it's 9, 11.
11. Great. So you're spinning in this vortex of mobile home flesh, and you suck her in like a tornado. She is in the middle of she is in the eye of your storm, and she is just bouncing like pinball.
The
Her voice
belly
is kind
button.
her voice is kind of distorted, like from digitally distorted. So she's just going like ow 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 ow. And you
Enemies
spit
to lovers.
The tornado spits her out, and she lands in the middle of the ring.
All right. And now my next move is, I think you're being a little, you're putting a sour name to the wrestling ring with your digital technology and such, so I think it's time to take you down to your roots. And what I do is I take a big chomp out of her helmet, trying to break it open.
roll body, because that's like a feat of your body.
Okay, that's a 6.
Break a tooth.
Ooh.
Your teeth hurt, and then she punches you with her metal arm, breaking even more teeth. And she stands up, and her arm transforms into a plasma gun.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nano machines, son.
He's like, this is nanomachines, old man. And she aims it at you and
Oh my god,
blasts you.
she's Big Hero 6. She's
Big
Big Hero 6.
She blasts you with a beam of plasma
No.
energy. What do? How does the mobile home with his strange body react?
I'm gonna deflect it with my belt because I'm wearing the belt.
You're wearing the championship belt.
You fucking fight
Yeah.
with the championship belt on?
That's
Oh
badass.
yeah. I absolutely do. So I hold up the belt to sort of deflect it back at her.
So as you hold up the belt and deflect it, it hits her center mass. And she is just like Street Fighter, just flying through the air and slams
All
to the ground.
You see, you have to use technology to help you, but the real rules of wrestling, it's all technique, all sheer blood, sweat, and muscle. That's the human body for you. And that is why you fail. You may know how to write an email, but you got no heart.
She is just like, she is panting through her voice modulator, and she was just like, I was just tired of people like me getting opportunities taken by people like you.
Yeah, okay, whatever, nerd.
Here we
So-
see the mobile home referencing his illiteracy when it comes to computers and attempting to hold it over.
Finish her, says the Green Witch. Finish her! Finish her! Finish her! And then
Yeah,
Peter Lorre
finish
says,
her, says-
Finish her! Finish her!
Finish her.
What do you
And
do,
then
man?
John Fox, Republican pundit and news
All right.
wrestling, says, "Go finish her."
The mobile home pulls that barrel back, the barrel that used to be full of grapes but is now empty. He puts acid in the barrel, picks her up, and throws her out of the ring.
Roll
And she rolls out the exit.
roll plus work for me. Wait, no, just roll finisher. 2d6.
Okay. That's a 10.
That is great. That is perfect.
Fuck you, Ethan, stealing all the good rolls.
You do exactly as you say. You mash her into the barrel, you wind up your arm, and you roll her out of the building. How do you celebrate
She
your big
immediately
win?
goes out the door with
Yeah.
the big exit sign.
Yeah, the big doors open
It says
automatically.
this
for her.
way.
The mobile home whistles and calls for that elk, and the elk that he defeated earlier comes back on stage, and he gets up on the elk, he rides it out of the arena.
Hell yeah.
That's beautiful. The Green Witch sheds a tear.
Truly a sight to be seen.
This is
Oh my
incredible.
God.
The three Peter Peter Lawyer. He goes,
The booth is now full of Peter Lorre's.
I'm a little bit
Oh my
hard. Is
God,
that okay? Is that normal?
That was crazy.
I don't mind a tight squeeze.
Would you
Oh my God.
would you like to kiss Peter Lorre? Would you like to kiss and make out?
I don't know. I'm just going to stand around here and shrug and bobble my head back and forth.
Fresno the Great. You are
That's
in the
me.
You are in a threshold of a massive Gothic castle.
Yeah. Can I describe how I
Tell-
enter this castle? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
tell me how
Yeah.
you enter your castle.
So
Enter the castle.
I assume there's like a screen projecting it for the people on
Yeah, it's-
in the audience, because I'm not there
Mhm.
physically, but I assume they've got like a television they're watching it on.
Yeah, it's on the big Titantron.
So they hear my signature entrance theme, but it sounds a little different. It sounds a little tinny, I guess I might describe it as. And they soon find out why. They see Fresno the Great walking out, cranking a hurdy-gurdy, and from this hurdy-gurdy is playing his entrance theme. And on his back is this huge wardrobe, like a fantasy inventor might carry around with them. And he just sort of very timidly and shyly enters this castle and does a big cartoon goal. Oh.
Yeah. So you walk into this very grand, just ballroom. and fog begins to appear. Like a quartet of ghosts are playing like this rendition of the Dracula theme, but it's like heavy metal. Ophelia comes in.
What is the
Ophelia comes in.
Dracula theme exactly, Gabe?
No. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That's not the Dracula theme.
It's the Dracula
That's
theme.
never
it's the
in
Drac-
history has that been a Dracula
No,
theme.
no, it's
That's
the
the
Dracula
Dracula
theme.
theme,
I think.
actually. I'm
That's
sorry.
That is
Dracula
literally
theme,
the
dude.
Dracula theme.
It's Toccata and Fugue.
No, I think it's called the Dracula theme, Harrison. I went to school for
Okay.
this. I studied Dracology. Okay.
All right.
You know the
I studied
Dracula.
Dracology.
Studied Draconomics.
Yeah.
But yeah, fog comes in. Ophelia is on a white horse. She throws her scythe at you. It is like an actual scythe this time. The handle looks like a bunch of demons just crawling over each other, and the scythe blade is even longer. And coming from the sky with a giant, massive cape, very like Spawn-like, is like super absurdly flowing. Resula falls from the sky in front of you in full armor. He takes it off piece by piece and meets you in the center of the ballroom. Says, "Let's begin."
Okay, I bash
have
him in the head with
control.
my crystal ball.
You bash him in the head with your crystal ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll real.
Real.
Real world.
Real.
Wrestling in the real world. That's a
Real
5.
goblins.
That's a 5?
Yes.
So- As you bash your crystal ball into him, he doesn't move, and a crack begins to
Ugh.
spider web along the crystal ball.
Okay. I do a big gulp and I say, "Oh, sorry, I get a little nervous sometimes." And as I say that, the crystal ball breaks open and a flock of white doves emerges from it and flies into his mouth, or attempts to at least.
Okay, roll work for me.
Who's working there? The doves?
Yeah, the
He
doves.
has to work to train the doves.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. Yeah, so the doves begin to just have you ever seen that scene in SpongeBob with like the snowballs?
I've never seen
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
with Patrick's mouth full of
Patrick and the
snowballs,
snowballs. It's like that.
Yeah.
They just pelt him into the mouth and his head is just super, super big. And it takes him like 5 minutes. He's just coughing and then he does like a big but he's just like, oh my stomach. Oh,
That's
so
what you
many.
get.
so
That's what
many
you
loves.
Um,
You're gonna keep going?
So Fresno is standing there thinking like he just used the coolest move he has the white dove swarm. He doesn't have anything to top that really. So I think he's just gonna knee Resula in the groin
He needs
while he's
Resula in the
standing there
groin.
next to him.
All right, roll plus real.
That's real. Okay. Oh, that's a 4.
You knee him in the groin, and I don't know what to say. It just goes through him. You don't feel anything. It's like a Ken doll. You don't feel anything.
Ooh, kinky.
Yeah. So when you knee him, you actually kind of stand him up, like, and he just he goes and runs to the ballroom. He grabs a candelabra and he begins trying to like stab the fire into your face.
Okay. I whip around my huge wardrobe that I had tied to my back, and I pull out my wizard's hourglass, my magic hourglass, and I smash it into his eyes and try to rub the sand around in there.
Okay.
Trying to
roll
dodge the
plus.
fire in the meanwhile. Like I try to like twirl around the fire and shove an hourglass in his eyes.
Yeah, like as the like wax and fire is dripping, you kind of just you shift.
Right.
And then you break. Do you break open the apple glass, or do you just slam it into his face?
Yeah, I try to break it open and slam the sand into his face.
Yeah. So you crack it open and you begin to pouring it like salt and pepper, just shaking it and pouring it into his eyes, into his mouth, into his nose. He's just scratching at his face. He's just walking around befuddledly, bashing against everything in the room.
This is what happens when you mess with the powers of the fairy realm. Fairies, come to me. Lend me your power. And the Christmas lights that I have wrapped around my body turn on, giving me a heavenly glow. and I take out my Gandalf sword and charge at him.
So as soon as the lights turn on, he instinctively raises his hands and go, ah! But roll
The
plus
Christmas
work
lights, dude, you're pathetic.
for me. Roll plus work for me.
Ah, that is so scary.
He's not Dracula, he's Rescula. He's
That
Rescula, dude.
is
It's
an
different
8.
rules. That's an 8. So you run at him glowing with this heavenly light, bright blazing through the ballroom, and you stab into his gut. And he is grabbing at it, and he tries his best to kind of yank the sword out of your hand using his body. I want you to roll.
Yeah. Can I let him yank the sword out and attempt something else?
Yeah, so you stab it into him, and he flexes, taking the sword out of your hand.
Right. And then the sword turns into a bouquet of flowers.
The sword turns into a bouquet, and he's like, I am very pretty now. Is that all?
Yeah,
Or do you have something up your sleeve, or does Resula go?
no, I just didn't want him to use the sword, so it turns into
Yeah.
a bouquet of flowers.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
So coming out of his gut is a bouquet of flowers. So he transforms into a swarm of bats, and he begins to encircle you.
Fuck.
He begins to
come on!
he begins to encircle you.
Are you serious right now? Oh, come on!
The bats are trying to crawl into your mouth, just like how you put doves in his mouth.
I just tried to spit them out. I'm going.
I want you to roll body to see like how strong your spit is.
Okay, body. Okay, I'll have to. I did the roll, but I'll have to double check what my body bonus is because I don't know that one off the top of my head.
It's all good.
So that's a 6.
So yeah, a multitude of bats are in your mouth. You feel them flying inside your stomach. It is very gross. It feels awful. He then behind you transforms back into Resula. He punches you in the back of the skull, and then Homunculad comes from a corridor holding a giant wooden pike. He tosses the giant wooden pike to Resula, and he instantly catches it. He is going to try to impale you.
Oh my god. Okay. I remember back to the lessons my mentor, who I worked with in the underground fighting rings, Party Lori, taught me. And he taught me to use my enemy's strength against them. And I feel these bats flying around in my mouth and in my tummy, and I become light like air, like water, and I attempt to let these bats carry me into the air.
Well, like that scene in Batman Begins where Bruce Wayne is in the cave being lifted up by bats. You begin to float in the air. You float in the air, stomach first.
Do I not need to roll for that?
No, I'm gonna let that happen because you don't really control it. You don't control it. The bats are doing it. So like you're floating in the air, stomach first, and Resula is trying his best to kind of shove this giant wooden pike inside of you.
I gotta jump a little higher.
Yeah, he has to jump over and over. He says, "Homunculad, come here." And then Homunculad wordlessly just wheezes his way up, and Resula uses Homunculad as a step stool in order to get higher. Right now, your stomach is touching the ceiling. What are you gonna do? You're like pinned to the ceiling because of your flying bats.
He's trying to jump up to me.
Yeah, he's trying to jump up to you and impale you.
I'm going to try to lean backwards as he jumps towards me and like put my arms behind my head and grab him by the neck and with these bats maintaining me midair, flip around, whip him around over me, and then slam him into the ground below.
All right, roll. I'll say work.
Work. Okay. That's a 4.
Oh no.
So you attempt to, fly down and slam him into the ground, and that fails. I'll say that like the bats stop flying. They have been digested, and you begin to fall down to the air. You are I'll say that you're about to land on the pike, but then He spins it around and turns it into more of like a baseball bat type position and hits you. You get bashed into this stained glass like window into a different room. He jumps and flies through the hole in the window. And he says,
This is
"Remember
just
when
like the season 2 finale of Castlevania.
remember when you put that hand inside of me?"
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Talking.
Yes, I do.
I do. I touched your insides by
I
osmosis.
do remember that, Resula.
He drops the pike, which you kind of
Oh.
infer that he intended to
God.
stick up your anus, and decides that he wants to be a little bit more personal. He is
Mhm.
going to try to stick his hand up your anus. He powers through. I want you to roll body as he does this.
Body.
Yada yada yada.
That's a 5.
His hand is in your mouth.
Oh God.
Oh
Okay,
no.
with that, I go, oh, and then rose petals appear, and I go, Kia! Would you say that he finds that bizarre at all?
Yeah, he finds that bizarre.
I go, oh, Resula!
Yeah.
Oh, Harrison, I hate this.
On my mind games, I roll a 10. So that means I get 2 things. First of all, I'm going
What
to
you
choose
want?
to gain. First of all, I'm going to choose to gain 1 heat with Resula because that's one of the other things I could do. And I'm going to say, yes, I remember it well, Resula. I believe someone else was there too. And
Oh my God.
I look up expecting. That's you, Johnny Cowboy.
Yeah, so no horse comes, but nothing happens for like a minute or several. So nothing happens as you were.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Never mind.
So from the
This
up,
is
so you look
embarrassing.
up.
I swear this never happens.
Instead of seeing Johnny Cowboy, you actually see Homunculad in the same position as Johnny Cowboy. He has a rope in hand, and he begins swinging down, getting ready to do the flying high five onto you. Resula opens your jaw from inside. I feel
I
like-
say kind of level, Johnny Cowboy, this would be a good time right now. This would be good timing, I think.
All the candles get blown out at once in the castle. All the candles go, and he's left in complete darkness. And from the top of the castle, like the very top ramparts, echoes down sort of like just a bird call, and then a single candle comes back, like one that was lighting the ring, like the main one in the around the side of the ring, like one of the big torches, comes up to reveal that the entire sort of ring area, like it's in the center of the castle, the walls above the ceiling are just encircled with like 400 vultures. and hold where Homunculad was, behind him is Johnny Cowboy, holding him in a headlock, dressed in a full sort of vulture skin outfit. And he goes, I'm the vulture now. Pleasure to meet you.
So
What?
he grabs, and I grab Homunculad, dive off. Hands out. Homunculad sort of pinned to me as I fall. Hands out, and I have full vulture wings, presumably made out of like real feathers, but a lot of dead birds.
Yeah.
And I glide down, and I go headfirst into Restula's. Sorry, not headfirst. So I'm gliding down with arms out, like in a bird formation in a T, and then I go into like a diver's form. So with my 2 hands out in front of me, you know, like you would do a proper dive with, right into Restula's mouth. Just both hands.
Enter him?
No, I just sort of like
So
really
many hands and mouth. That's the only way to defeat him.
just really fast, right into the back of the throat, like just bam, and all the vultures go, and a few of them start eating Homunculad.
Okay, Okay.
They start eating
So-
homunculus.
This is
So wait,
Homunculus is ripped off his rope by a giant man in a vulture costume. As vultures are swarming this giant gothic pavilion, swarming around and eventually convening onto Resula. And do they enter his mouth or just you?
So
I think they can. You said they convene on homunculad, right? Like they
So
just
I
start
dive
pecking
into
at his
it. A
skin.
few of them come onto homunculad. The
Oh,
rest
okay.
are just like it's a cacophony of just like
Yeah, okay.
just
So
fucking,
they're-
fucking vulture screams.
So there are just hundreds of vultures doing the classic vulture death circle. Some of them are ripped
Yeah, it's just a fucking tornado of vultures.
vultures. Homunculad is ripped to the ground and is getting pulled apart. He is screaming and crying. And then you enter Resula's mouth. And I guess you're about the same size as Resula's a little bigger than you, but you essentially enter his stomach, expand, and you're now wearing Resula as a costume. And your hand in Resula's skin is now inside Fresno.
I say, free me, Johnny.
Okay,
I punch Johnny Resula in the gut.
Yeah.
I go ow.
I think at that point Johnny falls to the ground, and you have just an open season to just pin him.
I have
Me or
Resula.
Resula?
Do I have Johnny Is it just Resula or is it Johnny Resula?
Well, Johnny is inside Resula, so technically
I say,
it
Johnny,
counts.
get out of there! I need to finish this match.
Okay, a bunch of vultures come in and grab my hands from inside and pull me out and up into the sky
And you fly away into the
black
horizon.
night.
So it
I-
looks like a Resula costume. That's what
Yeah.
I'll say.
So I reach into my big wardrobe and I pull out my vanishing cabinet and I open it up and I pick up his body and I toss it into the vanishing cabinet and I close it and I go 1, 2, 3 and I open the door and he's gone. Or I guess I'll roll to see if he's gone. But
Yeah, roll.
so what? 2d6 for finisher?
No, finisher. Yeah, make that your finisher.
You open it up. You open it up, and he's still there, dead.
That's a 7.
So I'll say that you mentioned before that this is kind of just showmanship,
Mhm.
but Resula isn't protesting. You pretty much can just do the trick. All I'll say is that people aren't impressed. You do the trick. You
Okay.
execute the trick perfectly. It's just that you get more of like a golf clap.
Yeah, all right, I'll take it. Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
The Titantron fades to black. The show is over. You guys meet up backstage. You're in the tournament.
Thank you, Johnny. I'm so excited to be in this tournament with you.
Listen, Fresno. I think it's about time that we permanently make our conglomerate a fixture. Now, my wants, as a hardcore wrestler, my want is to join a group. Now, a group can just be 2 men, and 2 men are we. So I
There's
propose
something very sacred about a bond between 2 men.
2 men. Now we can cuddle. We can read books together. We can listen to comedy albums.
You're saying we make like a homoerotic tag team. I would be fine if we drop the homoerotic part.
All right, we make an erotic tag team.
Just an erotic tag team. Yeah, baby.
Sounds good. And then I go over to the mobile home and I slap him on the ass and I say, "I'm coming for you, mobile home. I'm coming hard and fast, mobile home. For you.
Whoa.
And for you only."
Whoa. Whoa.
Was that blop blop?
Blop Blop got a little excited there.
And then I look at Chester the Ham King and say, "You're here too, but I don't know what to say to you. Goodbye."
I love wrestling.